organizing took place in a period of 1 month. This time, we're ready before the war gets started. So we have all of our schools together, people are rallying around. Think of what's going to happen in 1 month once we get this movement off the ground. So are people ready to fight against this war? Right. Another piece of history. Don't think that MIT did not have a critical role in this movement, because it did. Late in the 60s period, MIT coordinated with Harvard a famous march down Mass Ave, crossing the Harvard Bridge and shutting that bridge down for several hours, and making a serious statement that there was going to be no business as usual as long as the Vietnam War continued. And that's the level of escalation that we're talking about in the next few days if these people are serious about going to war. Are you with me for peace? Now, as was stated earlier, this is not working against the war is not a listener activity. If we're serious about stopping this war, it's going to take some kind of commitment from everyone in this room. People have got to commit to taking on the task of organizing the communities. People in the communities have come down. They need help from students to go back to their communities and mobilize people. So I hope everyone here can make some sort of commitment to come to the Peace Center, and it's aptly named the Martin Luther King Jr. Peace Center, after this event is over. So I hope people will be able to participate in that. Now I want to get started with our first speaker. Okay, our first speaker is an MIT professor. She's Dr. Joni Seeger. She's in the Women's Studies Department. She's a geographer, a feminist, and an environmentalist. She teaches in the Women's Studies Department at MIT, works with the New Words Feminist Bookstore Collective, and she has written widely on environmental and anti-militarism topics. I give you Joni Seeger.
Thank you. Thank you, Ron. And welcome all. I congratulate you all on being here. And may our courage not fail us in the coming week. It will be a hard week here. I'd also like to just congratulate the organizers of this forum and this very ambitious week-long anti-war series of workshops and speak-outs. And I encourage you all to attend as many events as you possibly can. Now, at this point in the formalities of most public events, there's usually some niceties, and speakers usually say how glad they are to be here. Well, I am glad to add my voice to the anti-war chorus, but I'm not really glad to be here at all. I'm angry that I have to be here. I'm angry that you have to be here. We have been brought to the very brink of international catastrophe by the machinations of a few mad men. And I use the word men descriptively, not generically. I point to each other first. We have been brought together by their lunacy, and there's not much to be glad about in that. On that somber note, I think that the most useful role for me tonight is to share information. It has been said that the first casualty of war is truth, and I think that's certainly the case with this war. So in an effort to help us retain some hold on truth in this grim week ahead, I will try to confine my remarks to a fairly straightforward and descriptive analysis of one aspect of the Gulf crisis. I speak tonight primarily as an environmentalist. I'll try and keep my comments brief. I know that we have an amazing lineup of speakers to come. Activities. We need to forge an alliance of all of us, and including explicitly feminist and environmentalist voices. We need to ask questions about the triad of men, masculinity, and militarism that seems to perpetuate these horrors in the world. And we need to make sure that we don't replicate the mistakes that have brought us here in the anti-war organizing that we are now undertaking. Thank you very much.
Elizabeth Heyer, and I'm with the MIT Initiative for Peace in the Middle East. And myself and Ron, who you met earlier, are the co-moderators to this evening's event. We'd like to proudly and very happily announce that there are 3,000 plus people here tonight to hear this event. We filled up Longdale, we filled up Lobby 7, we filled up Lobby 10, and we filled up this place. And there's still people waiting outside to get in, and I think it's a tremendous message that we're sending that we absolutely will not stand for war. It's great that so many of you are here at this very important event. We are on the eve of war, ladies and gentlemen. It's conceivable that what happens in the next 24 to 48 hours will change world history. We are here to guarantee that the voice of peace is at the forefront of the debate about what happens in the Middle East. Your presence here tonight is very important. It's emphasizing the message that we're sending to President Bush and to Congress that we will not stand for violence as a solution to our problems. We are here tonight because war is wrong. We are here tonight because war is not an acceptable resolution. The war plans that are being devised by our national leaders are irresponsible. They're hypocritical, they're wasteful, they're brutal, and they're misguided, and we've got to stop them. Right now, it's 4 a.m. in the Middle East, and it's officially right now, January 15th, which is George Bush's deadline. As we speak here tonight, the clock is ticking for the people of the Middle East who are frantically preparing themselves for war. And it is absolutely our obligation as Americans to stand up and to fight on their behalf to guarantee their safety. And we'll guarantee this through a peaceful solution and only a peaceful solution. As we speak, the clock is also ticking for our U.S. troops and their families here at home. They've been placed on the front line of battle in Saudi Arabia, and we again have an obligation on their behalf to stand up in America for peace, for a peaceful solution to the war in the Middle East. Now, ultimatums and deadlines that are being set out by the Bush administration are no way to reach peace in the Middle East. President Bush may not have intended this, but his January 15th war deadline is the peace movement's starting line, and we will fight tonight, and we will continue fighting until the troops are home safely, and until there's a permanent peaceful solution in the Middle East. Now, as peacekeepers of the world, we have to make sure that our voices are heard. And we need as many of you as possible to join the movement for peace in the Middle East and to join the movement to demilitarize this nation. We're all too ready and able to go to war, and we need to stop that and convert our military resources into humanitarian resources for housing, for health care, for education, for our people. We need to join, and we need to build the national movement for peace in America. Now, this movement is growing in campuses, in churches, in communities, and peace groups across the country. And we're going to become part of that through the formation of the MIT Peace and Justice Center, which we're going to start after this event in the Student Center. And we need all of you to come with us and to be part of that movement from the very beginning. Now, we must tell ourselves that we can make a difference, that every single one of our voices counts for peace, and that we are the leaders of this nation, and that we can and will be heard. Thank you very much.